Welcome to the first of many, many, many speeches. Please buckle in. You are all here because you have made a positive impact on mine and Ollie's lives. So I just want to start today by thanking all of you for taking the time to celebrate with us today. If you've known me for longer than 5 minutes, or you saw me in the ceremony, you know I won't make it through this speech without crying. So get involved and take a drink every time I get emotional. The wine is on us, so drink up. To the groomsmen, I feel really lucky to be in the unique situation that not only are you all great friends to me and Ollie, but you're also, to Ollie, but you're also, spoilers, all special to me as well. Thank you for your friendship over the years. Alex, thank you for the iconic goose bag that you didn't realise I was actually going to use. Ray, thank you for all of the deep, meaningful chats and the infinite love and support. And Dan, thank you for being the best husband to my best friend, and also for the exceptional memories of you being crowned the Baron of Coombe. Huzzah! To my bridesmaids. They say that you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most. So I've become kind, resilient, determined, and an alcoholic. No, but really, how lucky am I? How lucky am I that you 5 wonderful women are my closest friends? To Hannah, thank you for lifting me off the floor of the SU when I was too drunk to look after myself 8 years ago, and continuing to lift me up and support me ever since. I come away from spending time with you feeling inspired to become a better version of myself, and I feel truly honoured to be your friend. Abby, thank you for being my fiercest friend, for always inspiring me to push myself and believe in myself, and also thank you for being the person to finally convince me to use makeup brushes and not just put foundation on with my own fingers. Alice, I truly can't think of a better woman and friend to have experienced the past 14 years of this crazy life with. I'm glad it was you who I asked for a pencil in that English lesson in Year 9, and I'm even more glad I now get to call you my sister. Jodie, I lost you. Jodie, not only are you a fab sister to Ollie, but you've become a great friend and sister to me too. You are one of the strongest and fiercest people I know, and I feel lucky to be a part of your team. You've also raised the funniest, cheekiest nephews, and I cannot wait to continue watching them grow. Whew. Debbie, my mother-in-law. I see so much of Ollie in you. From your kindness to your laid-back, calm energy, thank you for being such a huge part of creating the man who is now my husband. Thank you for all that you do for me and Ollie. So much of the time after we got engaged was made extra special by you. It hadn't even crossed our minds to have an engagement party, so to be surprised by one that we didn't even have to plan was just the best. I feel so lucky to have such a caring, generous mother-in-law, and I've always felt like a part of your family, and I've always seen your house as a second home, especially after living with you and Richard back in 2018. I want to take a moment to talk about Ollie's dad, Richard. Whew. I would give anything right now to be looking out at Richard sipping a cider. His presence is so missed today. Although I never had the honour of having an official father-in-law, I did have the privilege of being welcomed into the McGrath clan by Richard for 6 years, and I feel really grateful for the memories we got to make together. It makes me really happy today to not only be taking Ollie's surname, but the name that he got from Richard. So please, everyone, can you raise your glasses and toast to Richard? Ooh. To Darren and Liz. I can't imagine inheriting two teenage girls who weren't keen on expanding our family unit was easy. But I couldn't have asked for better step-parents. You've both brought out parts of my parents that I hadn't had the chance to see before, and I couldn't be more grateful for that and for everything you've done and continue to do for me. Dad. Ooh. Thank you for allowing me to be confused when I learnt that most of the other kids at school had never seen their dad cry, because mine cried at the X Factor sob stories. Thank you for sharing with me your love of photography, puzzles, and travel. So much of who I am today I see in you. I just wish you could have kept the fat fingers and loud sneezes to yourself. Because anyone who's heard me sneeze knows I take after you in that way. I'll never forget being about 2 roads down from our childhood home as you worked on the garden and hearing you sneeze as clear as day. We've been on a real journey, but you've always loved me unconditionally. Even when I was a moody 19-year-old at uni, you made the effort to just pop in for dinner and gelato on the way home from work. I may not have said it at the time, so I want to thank you now for those memories. They provided a grounding link to home when I was setting up my own life. And what would home be without my mum? Mum, you are a pillar of strength, and I am incredibly proud to be your daughter. I am so grateful for everything you sacrificed to give us the upbringing and the life that we have. I wouldn't change a thing about my childhood and the beautiful family memories we created together. I'm often described as a sunshine person, and I see where I got that from in you. You are absolute comedy gold without even realising it. And you are, quite frankly, an icon. You took on Glastonbury single-handed and even managed to make friends with a bunch of drugged-up 20-somethings. You really do make friends everywhere you go. But before you think she's the perfect mum, you need to know that she did trap my thumb in her car door when I was just 6 years old because I didn't eat my veg. Okay, that last bit might have been a lie, but she did let me get all the way to uni believing that I didn't like toad in the hole because she replaced the sausages with lentils and pretended that was something I should enjoy eating. But whenever I think of you, Mum, it's impossible not to picture you in your garden. You've created a beautiful haven, and I'm genuinely so touched that you've chosen to share a part of that with everyone here today. So please, everyone, take your sunflower seeds home with you. They are a piece of my mum's garden for you to grow in your own homes. Ooh, to my gorgeous sister, Smell. Whew, I hate to say it, but I feel sorry for everyone else in this room, because they might think they have the best siblings, but none of them were born in November 1995 to a built-in best friend waiting for them at home. Whew. The relationship we have should be the envy of the world. When we're together, there's uncontrollable laughter, deep conversations, never-ending tears, and plenty of cheesy pop songs. You've always had my back and loved me unconditionally, and often more than I feel like I deserved. Thank you for making sure I knew to make the knot in my tie bigger on day 1 of secondary school so I would instantly be deemed as cool. It seems like such a silly thing to point out, but it saved me from the years of bullying that you'd already faced. And symbolises how much you've protected me from the world whenever you could. You always hold space for me, my worries, and my many, many big feelings. You have always been my home, and I feel so lucky that I will continue to have you as my safety blanket, my comfort, and my best friend forever. In the wise words of S Club 7, we are 2 in a million. Ollie, my best friend and my husband. Traditionally, the groom has a hard time during wedding speeches, so before Alex, Elle, and potentially even my dad roast him a little bit, I want to tell you how great Ollie is. I knew I loved you at the Demon Media Awards in 2016. We'd been together for about a month, and it was my first time seeing you at an event and watching how others react to you, with such admiration, respect, and kindness, all of which I knew you deserved. I spent the whole night beaming and marvelling over how lucky I was to be the person at your side. That feeling has never disappeared, and I feel lucky every single day to be doing life with you. As a chronic overthinker, I've always thought that when you know was a really annoying phrase, because I can simply never know anything for sure. But looking back, I think we always knew we'd end up here today. You asked me to be your +1 to your brother's wedding on the 23rd of April, 2016. For those of you who don't know, Ollie asked me to be his girlfriend on the 22nd of April, 2016. So yes, your maths is correct. He asked me to be his +1 to his brother's wedding just 1 day into our relationship. In 2021, I chose to plunge us into a pretty chaotic, stressful, and unpredictable lifestyle when I started my business. And the fact that you not only stood by me, but became my ultimate cheerleader, pushing me to go for what I wanted, not to mention you becoming my hardest working volunteer, speaks volumes about who you are. But please remember to report for work at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. As hard as I've tried, I can't really remember the first time you met my family, because right from the start, you slotted into our crazy unit seamlessly. You make my family laugh, and it's always been clear to all of them that you're perfect for me. I mean, one of the very last things my granny said to me was to make sure I kept you, and it feels so nice to know that she obviously knew we were a forever thing before she passed. Woo. And then you agreed to us moving in with Elle. Thinking that we wouldn't really spend that much time together, and not realising that soon we'd be in lockdown as a 3. Although on paper that sounds like a nightmare, getting to see you two become as close as siblings is something I will forever be grateful for, even if we did have a few plastic tray-related disasters along the way. It's no secret that I always liked fairy tales as a kid, and I'm a sucker for a happily ever after, but I'm not sure I believe in them anymore. I don't think that today marks the start of us just sitting back and being unquestionably happy forever. Marriage and life is going to be hard, and to be honest, I'm bloody terrified. But there's no one I'd rather dive into life with than you. I wouldn't change your chaotic, stressful, varied lifestyle for anything. Sometimes I think it's strange that we've made it 8 years down the line unscathed, with no major arguments or rough patches to speak of. But I realise now it's because we're a team. We've been through some very low lows together, and some stresses that would make other couples break, but they've hardly scratched the surface for us. It's always us two against the world, and that feeling is indescribable. I will never be able to find the words to explain how it feels to be seen completely by someone and to have them accept and celebrate every single part of you. I honestly don't know what I did to deserve a love like ours, but I will spend the rest of my life trying to make sure I've earned it. You are the first person I want to tell about my day, and I will always call you to chat even if I'm literally driving 10 minutes home from work, because I can never have enough time with you. Your face is my favourite face in the whole world, and I want it to be the first and last thing I see every day for the rest of my life. You are passionate and creative and determined, and you constantly inspire me to dream bigger, and I truly believe there's nothing we can't do together. The world would be so much better off with more Ollie McGraths in it, but I feel so grateful that today I married the only one. Please raise your glasses and toast to my wonderful new husband, Ollie McGrath.